Now we go to the final barrage of heats here at karting Genk. So we get underway with our third and final heat for Project E20, Junior, Senior and Senior Masters. Here is your starting grid. As per the previous two heats, it is as follows. Thijs Dams and Tomas Ibsen will start on the front row. Thijs Dams, a two-time race winner this weekend, starts again from pole. Mats-Johan Overhoff and his fan club, I'm sure we're in the grandstand again, will be starting from third position. Hector Ramirez starts from fourth and will be on E20 Senior Masters pole position. He's won one race. Today, Emma Svensson from Sweden will start from fifth, and alongside her will be Andreas Mattis, who won Senior Masters Heat number 2 earlier on this afternoon. Reine Born and Kaz Baldemans round out the complete 8-strong grid for E20 Seniors and Masters in 7th and 8th respectively. So it's also going to be a Lemieux front row with Frédéric alongside Antoine and Frédéric. She will be on pole position. Christopher Holst and Arthur Lorimier will be on the back row of the grid. So it's going to be the same type of formation start. So once the flag marshal walks to the back of the E20 Seniors and the Masters, the red lights will show up on the gantry and it will be lights out and away we go. And then the juniors will be released. So lights are out, off and racing we go. Another brilliant start from Thijs Dams as Mats-Johan Overhoff tries to go around the outside. I hope he's not, well, he might be using the boost button to try and get that facilitated. And he's just got up the inside of Thomas Ibsen, who retaliates through turn number 4. They are side pod to side pod, but you better watch out because that was Emma Svensson. Emma Svensson got through on Thomas Ibsen, and now she's up into third place. In the meantime, with what's happening, we've got Antoine Lemieux leading the way in E20 Juniors. But that was that was a spectacle there on the opening lap in the final heat. Emma Svensson went, right, I'm going to send it. And now here comes Thomas Ibsen up the inside of the 741 from Sweden, gets through for third position. And then leading the way, I cannot believe I'm saying this, what on earth has Kaz Baldemans had at the lunch break, because he's leading E20 Senior Masters ahead of Hector Ramirez, who's going to go for the race lead into turns 1 and 2. The driver from Santiago, Chile, as Kaz Baldemans goes wide and he goes to the back end of the field. Andreas Mattis round the outside, coming out of turn number 3, and he takes the Senior Masters lead ahead of Hector Ramirez from Santiago in Chile. Reine Born looking up the inside of the 801. Now he goes through for second position, and Kaz Baldemans might be using that boost button right now. He's going to get the inside line for turn 7, but Ramirez hangs it round the outside, has to slot back into position, and Hector Ramirez down to the back of the that's definitely gotten a bit feisty in this final E20 Seniors and Senior Masters heat, hasn't it, folks? Meanwhile, at the E20 Junior contingent, as Thijs Dams makes his way through into the final corner to complete lap number 2 of this race. Andreas Mattis, looking to make it 2 wins out of 3, is closing in on Emma Svensson for 4th overall, but still leads in Senior Masters. Juniors, however, it is the 604 of Antoine Lemieux that is leading the way and has taken 2 heat wins on the road, but the first one got a drop down penalty for a front bumper, and thereby will be looking to make sure that he is at the front of the field going into tomorrow. So for those wondering on the live timing, there's a duplicate of Antoine Lemieux showing up, but don't worry, don't concentrate on that. Concentrate on the driver in 9th position. Kaz Baldemans having a great battle with Hector Ramirez at the back of the Senior Masters field, but Mats-Johan Overhoff is hoping to try and go for a win, but he's got just over 4 minutes, plus an additional lap to do so. He's got to use that boost as much as possible, but also strategically. But Thijs Dams also knows this technology very, very well. And Thomas Ibsen, when you look at it, these younger drivers have a real understanding of technology. There is Emma Svensson ahead of Andreas Mattis, with Mattis still leading the Senior Masters class. Second in that is Reine Born. Also, so it's a German 1-2, and the Senior Masters classification, it's P2 at the moment for Germany in the E20 seniors. But it has been a dogfight between these three at the sharper end of the field all day long. 6/10 cover the top three. Emma Svensson still in fourth overall. She's just put in her fastest lap of the race, a 58.147. And Antoine Lemieux still leads the way in E20 Junior by just over 4/10 ahead of Switzerland's Christopher Holst, who took the opening win of the day here earlier on this morning when E20 kick-started the 2023 racing season here in the Euro Trophy, not including the Winter Cup that we had at Karting Campilos back in the middle of February. Also, Arthur Lorimier is very close behind in third place. They were covered by not much, probably the best part of 0.8 of a second. And now it's really getting close between the top three. 0.6 of a second separates them, going on to what will be lap number 6, which is now lap number 6. There they are. Days Dams might have his 100% success rate broken, but there's only 2 minutes plus an additional lap for the two behind to mount an offensive. And now is when they're going to use the boost on the back straight away. You're going to get nearly a full 5-second deployment into the braking zone, into turn 7. And Emma Svensson still holding on to fourth overall. Andreas Matis still, well, he's got a country mile between himself and Heiner Born. Hector Ramirez, in the meantime, has got past Kaz Boldemans. But less than a minute and a half to go in the final heat for E20 here at the opening round of the Euro Trophy in 2023. Last time the gap between first and second was just under 2.5 tenths. Now it's nearly 3 tenths. And look, there they are. They're coming through the grandstand. I just saw the Supermats fan club, even which has his race number from this weekend on the T-shirt as well. Also, great battle between Emma Svensson and Andreas Matis at this point, even though they are in respective classes. It's still for fourth overall, and Emma Svensson's doing a good job. But, oh, right, Thomas Ibsen has just got past on Mats Johan Overhoff going through the exit of turn number 9. That was in the background when Svensson and Matis were going through down the Europalan into turn 7. So again, Ibsen has tried to get through. Now Mats Johan Overhoff goes towards the outside and slingshots past, uncharacteristically round the outside of the start-finish straight, towards the left-hand side of the circuit. And there they are, going through into turn number 5 for what's going to be the penultimate time. This has given Days Dams an opportunity to pull away into the distance, and he's got a lead of probably what's going to be now north of a second, as Mats Johan Overhoff goes into the tight defensive line into turn 7 for the final time. So time has expired in this race, and Days Dams is going to be on course for a clean sweep of victories here on Heats Day. One more lap remains after this, and Tomasz Ibsen trying to put the frighteners on Mats Johan Overhoff, but the German is resilient. Now the boost is going to be used as a defensive and an attacking countermeasure at the same time. Final lap underway. The gap is just over a second, so Mats Johan Overhoff will have to do his level best to keep it on the black stuff, keep the tight defensive line ahead of Tomasz Ibsen, as Days Dams is basically just under half a lap away from picking up a clean sweep. Bearing in mind that he finished runner-up in the Euro Trophy last year to Dave Stevens. And Days Dams, now having moved up to seniors, moves up to seniors in E20. Mats Johan Overhoff defending. One more corner to go. Mats Johanov is doing everything he can. Tomasz Ibsen looks for the inside line, but out of the final corner, it's a clean sweep for Belgium's Thijs Daams in E20 Senior. Mats Johanov takes second. Tomasz Ibsen takes third position. And Emma Svensson will come home fourth overall, fourth in the E20 Seniors. And it's 2 wins out of 3 for Germany's Andreas Martis in the E20 Senior Masters classification. Hector Ramirez finishes in 6th overall, 2nd in Senior Masters, followed by Heiner Born, who's 3rd in the class. Antoine Lemieux takes another victory in E20 Junior in the 6:04 by over 6.7, well, by 0.67 of a second ahead of Christopher Holst, who won the opening heat, with Arthur Lorimier, Gaz Baldemans rounding out the top 11, and Frédéric Lemieux rounding out the complete grid. So that is, it's time to power down, hit the control out delete buttons, ready for tomorrow morning. But Thijs Daams is the one that has done the clean sweep all day long. And that puts him on pole position for the pre-final tomorrow. So the drivers getting prepped for their final race of Heats Day, fully charged and ready to go. A calm moment, despite it being the power of silence with the Project E20 machines running on the Sodi Sigma DD2 chassis. Thumbs up once again from Hector Ramirez from Chile, the eldest competitor on the grid. Thijs Daams was looking to get the clean sweep, and once again would start from pole position. And the start said it all. Thijs Daams would look over his right shoulder as Tomasz Ibsen and Mats Johan Overhoff would go into battle, and Overhoff would do one of the best manoeuvres of the weekend in E20 so far, going to use the runoff area to accelerate up the inside of Tomasz Ibsen. In the meantime, in E20 Junior, it was Antoine Lemieux that got the best run of anybody and would lead the field all the way through the race, right up until the end of the 9 laps. But also, Emma Svensson managed to spring a surprise of her own in the opening stages, having initially got past Tomasz Ibsen from Poland. And then it all came to a head. Hector Ramirez, Heat 1 winner, would find that Heiner Born would send it up the inside, and Hector would have to avoid, run a little bit wide, and up the inside of him went the Netherlands' Gaz Baldemans. But at the end of it all, it was a clean sweep for Thijs Daams. Second finally went to Mats Johan Overhoff, with Tomasz Ibsen rounding out the top 3. Emma Svensson would come home in 4th. Andreas Martis would take his 2nd win of Heats Day here in Senior Masters. And once again, it was Antoine Lemieux from Canada that would take the spoils of war in E20 Junior.